The next video we're going to do is going to talk about how neurons can be classified based on their shape or their structure. And remember that structure always leads to function. There are three kinds of neurons that we're going to talk about: unipolar, bipolar, and multipolar. And depending on their structure, which is going to be different for these three, they're going to have a different function. And they're going to be found in a different part of the nervous system. The first one we're going to talk about is a unipolar neuron. And a unipolar neuron, uni means one, is going to have one very short process that will then split into peripheral and central processes that will extend from that cell body. And the cell body is the main part of a neuron. When I draw these down here at the bottom, I want you to make yourself a key. And every time I draw the cell body, it's going to be this pink color. Every time I draw a dendrite, it's going to be green. And every time I draw an axon, it's going to be blue. And I'm going to tell you what these are in just a second. So, a unipolar neuron is going to carry impulses towards the nervous system. That means that all unipolar neurons are going to be afferent, because they're going to be carrying information towards the central nervous system. And from the last video, the central nervous system is either the brain or the spinal cord. So if I'm carrying information from a receptor to the brain or the spinal cord, it's going to be this unipolar shape. Now the unipolar shape is going to start with a cell body. And that's my picture of the cell body. We're going to split that cell body into an axon and a dendrite. Here is my dendrite, and here is my axon. And that information is going to be going towards the central nervous system. The difference in an axon and a dendrite are the following. A dendrite, and that picture is green, is going to receive a message from another cell. That other cell might be another neuron, and neurons talk to each other. That's how our brain works. An axon is going to pass the message away from the cell body to other neurons, muscles, or glands. Okay, so the impulse here is going to come in from the dendrite to the cell body and then down the axon. So there might be another cell over here talking to the dendrite. It goes to the main cell body and then out the axon. That's for a unipolar shape. Those are found in neurons that are going towards the central nervous system, towards the brain or the spinal cord. Bipolar neurons are kind of rare, and they're only found in the eye, the ear, and the olfactory mucosa, which is your nose. Remember, oh, you can't see. In the eye, the ear, and the olfactory mucosa, which is the mucus lining in the nose. Remember, how do we remember olfactory? Old factory stink. And so we remember that they're found in the nose that way. For the structure of a bipolar neuron, we have our cell body, and it looks something like this. It's a little bit different shape, kind of like an eyeball. We have our dendrite bringing information in to the cell body, and then the axon carrying the information out, like so. And then finally, we have our multipolar neurons. Multipolar neurons are the neurons found in the central nervous system, so in the brain or the spinal cord, and also in areas where we're carrying an impulse away from the central nervous system. So these would be those efferent pathways. And they look like this. Most of our neurons and the structures you see in pictures look really similar to the multipolar neurons. They kind of have a star type shape. We will have dendrites carrying information. Oh, I got the wrong color. Dendrites carrying information towards the cell body. Like so. And then we have one long axon carrying information away from the cell body. Okay, and those are your efferent pathways, and these are found in the brain and the spinal cord, as well as in nerves that carry information away from the brain or the spinal cord. Alright, that's it for this video on neuron classification. The next one we're going to do is the structure of the neuron. So the structure of the neuron is going to be this sheet here. And you are going to need some colors for this as well. So why don't you go get, let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6 colors. Okay, go get 6 colors and get ready with this sheet here.